Listen up. It's like a family reunion. Dad is really busy with everything here. Why's that? Isn't it just a one-on-one showdown? I mean, how would I know? He's like a super warrior. Seeing Hunan reveals such unpleasant acts, the husband's rage erupted like a volcano, slapping him. Mom was hit again. The daughter was floating, biting Dad's leg, and Yanks's head accidentally banged against a rock. Unfortunately, she left. Hunan was in shock watching it all, feeling her daughter gradually fading away, like a balloon of hope being released, and her husband acted like he didn't care, casually saying, "Your Highness wants to hit you. Don't run away. Don't run. Don't run. Don't run." Yanks's departure crushed Hunan's last straw. The islanders called officers in the city to fix this little problem, and looking at the child's noticeable decorations, everyone agreed. He just fell, looking at Hunan with a bewildered face. The old ladies were whispering. "So does that mean you'll become a floating corpse, Officer Zhu? What's going on?" Seeing Officer X's deeply thoughtful gaze, Hunan didn't hesitate to spill the beans. Yangtze was done in by Wonjon. But Wonjon bit back, claiming Hunan wanted to flee the island, so he gave all the money, begging not to take his daughter. Then during their argument, an accident happened. Wonjon cried out, and Officer Zhu fell for his touching tale. Hunan felt helpless. Placing her last hope on her best friend, could she tell the truth? But her friend got scared at the sight of everyone's gaze. "I was napping." Her friend's words shattered Hunan's last hope, and in the end, Yanks's death was labeled an accident. Before leaving, the islanders all brought souvenirs, and Wonjon even slipped him a red envelope. What's going on? Now that's real money. Her best friend planned to go with Officer Zhu, and the old ladies feared she'd talk nonsense. Before her best friend could board the boat, she told Xu to drive off, leaving her to wait until the next day. That afternoon, her brother-in-law delivered food. Her best friend, having just betrayed Hunan, was distracted and ate it all. Then she just popped down and fell into deep sleep, and in the middle of the night, her brother-in-law entered her room. He tried to lift the lady's arm, but she was as still as a statue. The brother-in-law revealed a greedy gaze, looking like he found treasure, but just then, Hunan walked in with a blank expression. Hunan slapped him. At that moment, the man noticed the magic staff in her hand, and she had no choice but to leave disgruntled. Then Hunan slowly squatted down, watching her sleeping best friend, reminiscing about the good old times as kids. Back then, they played the flute together, and suddenly a group of mischievous little boys surrounded them to cause trouble. It was Hunan who bravely protected her. Her best friend, fearing for herself, fled Hunan alone, hiding and watching boys use her flute. They knocked Hunan unconscious and took her, then found the boys' leader was her husband Wonjon, having a light bulb moment. The next day, Hunan buried her daughter in the yard, even though her husband cursed her for being unlucky. Hunan went her own way. Wonjon took her brother-in-law to town, returning only tomorrow, while Hunan worked on in the fields. Today, the sun felt exceptionally bright. A few old ladies were sitting under a tree, teasing Hunan as she worked, even starting to bite. Hearing the laughter of the old ladies, Hunan paused her actions, looking up and glaring at the blinding sun. 30 years of grievances incited her deeper and deeper into darkness, but now the sunlight shone down, guiding her towards the path she should take. Hunan walked up to the old ladies, took a sip of water, then grabbed a sickle, like a superhero, and swung it at one of the grandmas, while the others were left trembling. One of them attempted to crawl away. Hunan raised her sickle with determination, while the third grandma had already escaped, and Hunan immediately went after her. The grandma got startled and just plopped down, opting to play dead, but Hunan saw right through it. After Hunan dealt with the three, she stood proudly admiring her masterpiece, only to be spotted by the last grandma. As Hunan approached with the sickle, the grandma quickly ducked out of sight. Daylight returned. Hunan carefully sharpened her tools, then picked up a pair of sharpened scissors, preparing to make a move on that grandma. But she didn't go for the kill. Instead, she began grooming the grandma's hair when suddenly, a scream pierced the air. It was the grandma from last night who grabbed her best friend and dragged her into the woods, shaking with fear. Just then, Hunan quietly approached from behind, like teasing a child, and punched her best friend out cold. Then, like a little follower, she followed the old lady all the way to the edge of the cliff. In extreme fright, the grandma hallucinated, mistaking Hunan for her old friend, and wildly waved the sickle around. "I love you. I love you." This line really killed the comedic effect. Subtitles: I love you. and her sole hope simply vanished like this. As she backed away pleading, begging Hunan to let her go, she turned to see the returning bird, instantly becoming cocky again. She even dared to dream of asking the men for justice, yet she couldn't see the rocks below the cliff, and Hunan couldn't help but chuckle. Hunan found her brother-in-law, who got off the boat first, and he still tried to lay hands on her. This time, Hunan had enough and stopped. Someone saw it. Her best friend witnessed the whole thing from afar. She was terrified and hurried to escape, while Hunan ruthlessly pursued her.